Ever the controversial and polarizing figure in rock music, Falling in Reverse frontman Ronnie Radke has reignited his feud with Skid Row legend Sebastian Bach, this time making a wild allegation and sharing a rather shocking screenshot from a video that supposedly features Bach in a rather peculiar situation, to say the very least. Let's discuss. Since it's been nearly 2 years, we'll do a very brief recap of the Radke-Bach feud as a brief refresher. It all started back in September of 2022 when Falling in Reverse had to cancel their appearance at Will Rock Festival because, according to Radke, the band's laptops went missing, and as he put it at the time, as a band in 2022, you need your laptops. Cue Eddie Trunk's head exploding. After plenty of ranting from Radke on Twitter in response to Eddie Trunk essentially dogging Radke and Falling in Reverse on his radio show, Sebastian Bach eventually chimed in also on Twitter saying, "Wow, dummy, are you trying to say that you believe that I use tracks on stage? At Eddie Trunk, how fucking funny is this?" We don't necessarily need to recap the entire feud as it went on for like 2 or 3 days. I mean, just going back and forth, nonstop, relentlessly. And honestly, at this point, almost 2 years later, it's really a bit pointless to explain it all, but that's the gist of the origins of this feud. I will say, however, that Ronnie did have a pretty incredible retaliation against Bach by having a laptop fall from the sky and hit a Sebastian Bach lookalike in the Falling in Reverse video for Watch the World Burn. Things recently began heating back up, though, when Bach was doing a Q&A with Metal Hammer, where he was asked by a fan if he would ever make peace with Ronnie Radke, to which he replied, "I don't know who that is. The only way I know that name is from the internet, so they might as well be a Republican politician or a reality TV show star or YouTuber. Whatever opinion someone has on the internet, for me to give a shit, I would have to respect their music first. And I have never heard one note of that band. The only reason I know them is because they seem to love their computers more than real rock and roll." To be honest, Bach probably could have responded a little bit differently to all that, but in all honesty, it's just really, his response is not really that big of a deal by any means. However, though, where things get really, really out of control is just yesterday, Friday morning, Ronnie posted a video on Instagram that at first is just a bunch of insults hurled at Bach, just one after the other. But then it takes a shocking turn by making an abso-fucking-lutely batshit crazy, insane claim about Bach. Here's the entire clip.
What's up, guys? This message is for Sebastian Bach. My hair's up. Sebastian Bach. Sebastian Bach on Ronnie Radke. I don't know who that is. Sebastian, you know exactly who I am. You talked a lot of crap about me for years. Also, another reason why I know you're lying is because this is Elvis Basquet, and I know you know who that is because he did your newest album, and Elvis Basquet did "Dying Is the Latest Fashion" from Escape the Fate. He did 3 or 4 albums of my first albums, and he probably had them hanging all over his walls and stuff. And I'm sure my name got brought up a few times since I've known Elvis since I was literally a teenager. So this whole pretending that you don't know I exist is just so phony, just like everything else. That's why nobody likes you. Your band doesn't want you back. They never want you back. You're literally the most insufferable human being of all time with terrible vocals. You know what's cool about me is that my old band, Escape the Fate, they're still my friends. I have lifelong friends. You have no lifelong friends. Nobody likes you. And that's a sad, miserable existence because you have to play covers of Skid Row songs because your own band doesn't even want you back at the blackjack table at the Excalibur at the Circle Bar at like midnight when you're exhausted for a 60-year-old man that looks like Donald Trump meets Caitlyn Jenner. Also, Sebastian, I have a video of you that you don't want out, and I'm never gonna put it out. There's the bird. I'm never gonna put it out, but I'm not the one. You know, somebody else has this. A lot of people have this video. You know what this video is? Woof, 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 woof. Go fetch the ball. Go fetch the ball, Sebastian. You remember that one? I saw how your dick is small too. You have a tiny dick. You're like 6'8" with the fucking smallest dick I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's insane. I can't believe your dick is so small because you're so tall. You're like tall and big, dude. So it's so bizarre that you're like a fucking tall giant with a tiny ass dick. Your dick is tiny, bro. And I'm telling you right now, leave me the fuck alone, you washed up piece of shit loser. Fuck you. Fuck anybody that actually pretends to be your friend. And fuck everything you stand for, you loser. Have a nice day, fucker.
Holy fucking shit. What a video. What a claim to make. I don't even know what to say. On one side of the coin, there really is nothing better than a good old-fashioned feud. And with what better two guys than Ronnie Radke and Sebastian Bach? Never a shortage of chaos with either of them, especially Ronnie Radke. I mean, go through that guy's social media. He's calling somebody out seemingly almost every day, maybe even multiple times a day. And it don't matter who it is, a fan, fellow musician, whatever. That guy, Ronnie Radke, is always on 1,000. On the flip side, though, if that screenshot is real and if the video with Sebastian actually exists, yes, it is pretty goddamn funny. No, not pretty funny. It's absolutely fucking hysterical is what it is. But it is also just super unnecessary to bring up. I mean, when you look at it, Bach didn't really say anything that bad. Just that he doesn't use tracks. He did dog the band a little bit for canceling that show over the laptops. And that he doesn't know who Ronnie Radke or Falling in Reverse is, which, to be fair, I think Ronnie took that out of context. Sebastian was not saying he literally doesn't know who Ronnie Radke or Falling in Reverse is, just that he doesn't know the music. He doesn't really know anything about him other than the whole laptop incident, which I think makes sense and is 100% believable. On the other hand, while there is certainly something to be said for a 100% full live concert, which honestly is what I personally prefer, it's just not how music is today. Even with rock bands, there's plenty of samples or trap beats or this or that, whatever, all sorts of different things that really just aren't possible to do in a live setting, unless maybe if you're operating on a Rolling Stones budget or something like that, which, let's be real, most rock bands aren't anywhere near that these days. But even then, a lot of the sounds in rock music outside of the traditional stuff like guitars and all that stuff, a lot of it is computer generated, and it can't exactly be replicated live. I 100% do think that traditional instruments and vocals should absolutely be live, but the other stuff, I mean, I don't know. Who cares? You know, Eddie Trunk is always saying on his radio show that he understands if a band has to use a track for a keyboard part or an orchestral part or something like that. But truthfully, what is the difference between a keyboard part, orchestral part, versus a sample or some sort of, you know, hip-hop beat or trap beat or something? I mean, that's key to the song. I mean, there really is just no difference, especially when you're talking music in the 2010s, 2020s, and comparing it to what Eddie Trunk predominantly is involved with, which is 70s and 80s hard rock. Two totally different animals. I'm getting sidetracked here, but the point that I'm trying to make is that Bach's stance is certainly a bit outdated and a little get off my lawn-ish, but for Radke to post that screenshot, if it's real, and detail that alleged video, which again, we don't know if that video exists. Obviously, AI can do wonders these days, but for him to post that, whether it's real or not, it's yikes. It will be extremely interesting to see how this thing plays out and to see if Sebastian Bach responds to this. Personally, though, I don't exactly see him responding to a video if it's real. I don't see him responding to a video and acknowledging himself in a situation that's that over the top insane. All right, though, I gotta run. My fiance wants to pretend that she is Sebastian Bach and I am the ball, so I gotta go. But thanks so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time.